I think we're here. Okay, folks. Part two. It looks like we got bumped. We got bumped. We got bumped. We got bumped. Got to see if we can get into the old chat and let everybody know to come over to here. That was crazy. I don't know what happened. It just all of a sudden everything went, and yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Your channel. Let's see. Okay. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, let me. What are you doing? Stop that. I didn't ask you to do that. Okay, let me. Yes, that was very odd. But I figured out what it is that Rumble was attempting to go live, and it finally made a connection, but when it connected, it kicked. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got you. Hey, Dave. Are you muted? You have to check down there, make sure you're not muted on your mic. Yeah. So what ended up happening, Dave, was we did connect to we are on Rumble. We are live on Rumble right now. So I'm trying to get Dave with you guys. Bear with us. He's working on a couple of small technical difficulties. Once we have that taken care of, we will be up and running, hunky dory, apple peaches pumpkin pie, kind of style. So we covered so far today. We have covered Space Shot and the Table of Titans. You there, Dave? Check your settings. Make sure that you got your microphone selected, so on and so forth. He's just having a little bit of technical difficulties, guys, but he'll be with us here in a minute. Yeah, so we're on YouTube, Facebook, and right now we are live on Dave's channel on Rumble.
And how about now?
There we go. What was it, so I can remind you next time?
It wasn't picking up my headset mic. I did have to go into the settings and change it from iPhone to headset. It didn't automatically do that.
Okay. I'll remember that, so that next time I can give you a nice little reminder just before you come in.
Yeah. So folks, just so you know, all technical difficulties up till now were yours truly. And Hawk just trying to make space so that we could try out a few things tonight.
Yep, and we are live on Rumble right now, Dave.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yep, it did connect. So I think it didn't want to go. It didn't, for some reason, want to connect while we were midstream, I think.
Right. All righty. Well, thanks. And let's, I've got about 15 minutes. I'd love to get into whatever you want to get into, brother.
Well, you know, because we were talking while Space Shot and his crew were getting together there, we were watching that clip on the GOP debates. You know, and I said to you, I said, Dave, I said, give me your honest opinion. What do you think of Vivek? Because I had to agree with Jody Terry, and I kind of think he's a plant. You know?
Well, yeah. So first of all, I don't pay much attention to him. You know, I watched the clips of the debate just because I heard that he dropped a few bombs, and the thing about he is there, I believe, like RFK Jr. is there.
To show
And
rationality to the party, but yet not be vying for control of the party.
well, nobody can touch Trump.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
so it's and his decision to not do any of the debates was spot on.
Oh,
And
I agree.
it's like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go play basketball with some fifth graders, right?
Right.
If but I would go consider playing against some people at my level, which are former players that are now broken down old men. Uh, that's my level now.
Well, yeah, that's
But
yeah. Biden. Can you imagine if Biden actually debates him before they finally replace him?
do I think that'll happen?
Oh, I would love to see that
Oh,
happen,
oh,
but
oh!
I don't
My
think that
goodness,
they'll allow that
they're
kind of
not
embarrassment.
they're not going to allow that. So at any rate, so back to Vivek. He is definitely there. Either like for example, Musk. Musk is not saving the world. He's not saving the world from censorship. He's not saving the environment, and he's not going to be putting people into space. So everything he's doing is, has a false premise, including all of the things that he did at PayPal and Tesla to kind of usurp the actual creators of those things and become the main man at the forefront. So, without question, to me, he is being utilized by the white hats, without question. And just like Vivek right now is being utilized by the white hats, and possibly having a place in the future or in the cabinet, or I don't know what's all going down. And by the way, anybody that tells you that they know what's going down doesn't know what's going down. We're all speculating here, right?
Yep.
And that's the problem. But that's the intel that is being sold as a bad bill of goods to the population. Hey, we've got, I talked to my sources, and he's doing this and that and this, and talking like they know what they're talking about, or the white hats for some reason are giving information to somebody who's got 10, 20, 30, 40,000 viewers or whatever,
Or a couple of million.
or a couple of million. It doesn't matter. They're not going to give them information. There are no outside comms. And
Right.
so what Vivek and RFK Jr. are doing is they're bringing topics to the mainstream that forces us to see, and not just us, but the normies to see. Hold on, I'm going to keep going. Yeah, that forces us to see who are trying to block the narrative of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because he dropped some bombs. Like, okay, why do we have three leftist controlled Mockingbird media plants hosting this debate?
Yep.
That's one. And
I have to say it was one of my favorite parts because when was it Bob Goodall or whatever his name is or whatever, when he looked at him and he said he asked him he asked him a question. Yeah, he says and then he says, you answer this question, and then he ends it with, okay, now go. and
Yep.
That they were never going to answer his question.
And they cut to the woman smiling, who has been one of the biggest proponents of the Russian collusion, throughout the time. So that was a bomb that was dropped in the lap. Now, that we got to sometimes put ourselves in the shoes of the still indoctrinated.
Yeah.
And like you said, let's not, point fingers at them. Let's, let's put on a pot of coffee and sit down
Have
and
a
talk about it,
conversation. Yep.
and so, but in order to get to that place, so right now, and one of the things I'm going to get into heavily this weekend, I'm going to try to come on tomorrow, and if not, at the latest, I'm going to come on Sunday, and I'm also going to be on with David Rodriguez next week. We're doing an interview Tuesday. He asked me to come on, and I'm also I want to be on with you more. I talked to Poppy. Poppy wants to have me on, and so um, I'm trying to reach out to M Seeker of Truth, who did a couple great interviews with me back in the day. And so at any rate, this is all a part of me coming back into the fold, and to the fight at a very, I believe, crucial time. It's all been crucial time, but quite honestly, I've been homeless for 6 months. I have, had a roof over my head by the grace of God and the grace of my friends and family and things, but I have not been able to get into a home. And so that has made it very difficult for me to function and to come live with folks. And so I am trying to, get some money together to get into a home. So that's happening. And so but coming back into a time when things are really heating
Ramping
up,
up.
and something big is going to happen, and I'm going to talk about that this weekend. But one of the things that needs to get us to the point where we're having this conversation over a cup of coffee is they need to watch the RNC debate and hear these talking points that would never be brought up if it was just Nikki Haley and a few other rhinos.
Yep.
So this is
Well,
all.
and honestly, they wouldn't be
Yeah.
watching it as much if Trump was on it. The lefties,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
normies,
Exactly.
because they have a hate for Trump. So by having
Yeah.
somebody like Vivek
Yeah.
dropping it, that's a whole nother story, and then you got guys like Chris Christie who are like trying to belittle him, and Vivek just comes back at him. And what's kind of funny is it's almost like he's mirroring Trump in some ways, his style in response.
Yeah. Well, that's a great point, Hawk. And also, he's got nothing to lose, right?
Yeah,
And he's not, now he's a WEF cat, so we gotta
take
worry
that into
about,
yeah,
like, that's what I mean is I think he's being utilized. I think he's being utilized because he also, what's important to understand is that Q flat out called out the deep state and said you can either, and I just was taken there just 2 days ago, taken to this drop where he calls out the deep state and says you're on a losing in a losing cause, and you better stand up and come clean, because it's not going to be pretty, or something to that effect. I forget
yeah.
which one it
Basically, there
was.
won't be any deals.
Yeah,
You know,
and so Vivek, he's a young guy. He's got to see the writing on the wall. I mean, anybody who's smart and hasn't sold their soul, um, which he may have already had, and that's how they're also making sure that he plays this role that he's presently playing. But he is bringing this conversation into the mainstream. Look at what's happening with RFK Jr., bringing the jab conversation into the mainstream. So
Right. Right.
put ourselves in the shoes of those who truly believe, that they are on the right side of history by voting for Biden. But then they're like, oh my God, we made a mistake. This guy's a wreck, but I can't, in good faith, vote for Trump because all my friends know I hate him, kind of thing. So they're already, they're not going to lose face,
Yeah.
right?
There's that fine line that they're
They
not
can't.
willing to cross.
Exactly, right? And so they've got to continue this narrative of, Orange Man bad.
Yep.
And even though it's every color right now is bad except for orange, if you ask me. So it's like, and by the way, speaking of color, Vivek is perfect because he's going to get all the all those that are social justice warriors, showing how great they are because they're getting behind a brown man,
Yeah. Yep.
and
Yep.
and they're like, oh yeah, I'm with Vivek. He's no racist. He's just like they did with Obama, right?
Yep.
And so,
Now is he Indian?
I believe, yes.
Okay.
I believe that. Yeah.
Not we're talking the country India, not the Native
Native
American.
American, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think he's being used brilliantly to bring these topics into the mainstream because that the Russian collusion, the people that are still indoctrinated, they need to understand that there's a conversation going on in the mainstream about how that was completely proven false. As
Yeah.
we enter into this new election, still with the old election still not having been taken care of. But I believe some major things are happening between the 16th and the 23rd of November. We've got some banking stuff going on. We've got, supposedly one of the things that I had a conversation with David Straight, and I said to him, he believes there's going to be a comet hitting the Atlantic, and there's going to be a big tidal wave, and we've seen some predictive programming around that. We saw Ingersoll Lockwood talking, showing that
Oh yeah. Yep.
meme, but like you said, they also showed the next day that it had been stopped, and Bobby Lawrence told me he heard that comet was stopped.
Let
Now,
me share that video with everybody so that they know what we're talking about. So folks, they're on the Ingersoll Lockwood site. They had one of the things that you click to. I guess you'd call it a click to. Basically, what it showed was that um, they showed the rabbit, of course. But the other thing that it showed was that that there was a hole in the firmament. And let me find this video real quick. Let's see. I have so many of these dang folders now. It was now Navy. Actually, that's what I should do. I'll just go to Navy Vets and pull it up because he did put it back up on his site there. So let me pull that up and show everybody what I'm talking about or what we're talking about, so that they fully understand. Here we go. Okay, so this is the video here that we're talking about.
Listen to this.
Can somebody please decode this?
Humanity doesn't have much time left. Now, let's talk about it. Before you scroll, I need you to hold on because this video might be the difference in life and death for your family. She went to this website here, Ingersoll Lockwood. a very prominent family and company for the United States. You can see that they work with Space Force.
All conspiracy
But down
people
here,
know who this is.
there is a little rabbit. You have to just you have to pay attention to see it. But you have a rabbit that pops up. You see the sand, the time clock with the sands. And you'll see this. Decoding this is this. 11, 16, 23. Something from the skies are going to hit the firmament, and waters are going to start to flow.
But that 241 means
this is a rabbit. Rabbits are known for running. You're running out of time. Once again, 11, 15, or 16, 23. There's what appears to be a cigar-shaped comet or asteroid that's going to hit the firmament and release the waters from above, and we're running out of time. Do you all remember when the future map of the United States was posted? And you can see as California's covered, parts of Florida's covered, parts of Texas, New York is underwater. Y'all remember when this very map right here started circulating around the internet? What's supposed to be our future map?
2017.
That time is almost here. Let me show you what Ingersoll Lockwood is famous for. He wrote this book, The Last President, 1900. And inside of this book, it describes eerily what's exactly going on today. And the last president of the United States lived on 5th Avenue in New York City. What's located 5th Avenue, New York City? Trump Towers. Pay attention. I'm going to show you another book that he wrote in 1893. He also wrote this book, The Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. In that book, The Baron Trump, does Trump have a son named Baron?
It is a weird coincidence.
Once again, these books were wrote in the late 1800s. Let's move on. For those of you that heard of Operation Jade Helm and the conspiracies behind that, let me show you. One of the #1 theories around this is a comet or asteroid impact. It says some conspiracy theorists have connected the Jade Helm 15 military exercise with an apocalypse caused by a comet or asteroid striking the Earth. Once again, we have 11, 16, 23, and if you look in the background, look at that. It's coming through, smashing the firmament, releasing waters. If you look over here, this place is dead, desolate. On this side, there's still life, but we are running out of time. If anyone sees anything else that I might have missed, please leave it in the comments or tag me in your video. And there's one more thing I want you to see on that website. You can see we're still here. If you look, it says the year is 2023, but is it? No, it's 5,784. You all continue to forget that the 2023 started whenever Jesus supposedly died. So this is the year that we are really in. Let that sink in, people.
That's crazy. That's great. Delta 910 did a great job at this video. Great job. There's only one thing about his decoding I have a question about. This time clock is not put there just for no reason. Why I say that is this is an hourglass. The sands of time, right? Why put a clock at the top with the time 2:41? Right? I can speculate that on that date at 2:41, that comet could hit. And say if it does, well, how precise would that time be? All y'all, well, majority of the truthers, and if the truthers don't know who Ingersoll Lockwood is, they haven't done much seeking, and they only post news media clips for fear mongering. But I love people that provoke fault. This is a real truther. This is one of the real truthers. Give my man a follow if you do not. I, of course, will tag him. But I wish he would have talked about that time because he got looked over. And that's the only thing to his comparison I can say. But let's talk about what we know. He showed you that map that I've showed many times from Forbes magazine that we've been inundated since 2017. What we know is that insurance companies have moved out of 3 states: California, Nevada, Louisiana. Why? This map starts making a lot of fucking sense then. What do you think? Peace to the gods.
So, okay. So as we were talking about there, now Dave had to run. His family showed up just as we pulled up that video. But he spoke with somebody who basically informed him and let him know that was stopped. That's not going to happen. And what's funny is that 2 days later, that image was up again. Only this time, the hourglass was gone. The rabbit was there, pointing at the clock. But both sides of the road were in pristine order. Okay. So, you know, we'll actually we could probably go over and check it now and see if, I'm not sure if Ingersoll, if we got the time really to go through Ingersoll today. Let's see. It's verifying me. Got to verify. Yeah. Like cornbread. Let's see. It takes a while for this to load. I took all the guards off of this site because of the fact that I go to it, multiple times. Yeah, that's. Give me 1 second. I can do that for you. Let's see. Give me a second. Go to that and share link. Copy, and here is, there you go. All right, so that's up on Navy Vet 103's website, or up on his YouTube. He was also the one who actually first started talking about the Ben Gurion Canal project. He posted videos on that like immediately. As quickly as he found out any of that information, and went from there. Okay, so I believe. Hey, Ronnie, if you want, I will drop the link, or I'll send you the link in an email. But first, I want to make sure that you're all right. That everything went well at the doctor's is what I'd like to hear. And I'm sure your viewers would like that as well. I will. I'm emailing you the link right now. Message. There we go. Okay. Yeah, figure it like this. If you come up on panel, you only got to say it once. I got a weird way of thinking, don't I? Yeah. Thought so. Okay. All right. So let's jump back to Ingersoll here, and I'm trying to remember. Let's see now. What's this? See, now this is breaking down into 2. Office of Director of National Intelligence 2022. Annual report, unidentified aerial phenomenon. What? Well, would you look at that? All right, I'll download this. I'll read through this later because it might be something interesting. But we'll find out at another time. Let me go back. And now the C was a different link. This is weird. It's all one link. Let's see. Okay. All domain anomaly resolution office. UAP related program activity reporting. Oh, okay. So that's unauthorized yeah, it's basically where people go to okay, and then we got the little period there, which takes us to the German disc aircrafts, 1922 through 1945 and beyond, and all kinds of information on here. It's got Project Paperclip is in here, all kinds of related reports. Hitler's flying saucers, Nazi UFO secrets of World War II, secrets of the Third Reich, disc-shaped flying objects, secrets of the Third Reich Part 2, Nazi bases in Antarctica. So this covers a large quantity of information that you can check out, and that's from the period after etc. And then the C for case. Where does the C for case take us to? It takes us to Google Earth, and this always brings to a site that is in Antarctica. On the side of a mountain. You'll see here, there's the mountain. And then if we scroll back far enough, you'll see that this is Antarctica. And Antarctica, folks, is huge. Look at how big that is. That's the entirety of North America, South America, Africa, all can fit into this one continent. All the country, almost all the countries can fit into this one continent. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? It's even got a tail there for Mexico. See? Look at that. And you look at North America, well, you couldn't fit all the continents in, but it's almost the same size as Russia. Almost the same size. Ronnie, how you doing, brother?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself, Hawk?
I'm doing all right. How'd things go with the doctors, brother?
Well, I think it was a tie today. If you can give me a few seconds to explain that.
Go ahead.
Well, the main tumor that I had in my chest has actually shrunk some from the last PET scan. So to me, that's a very good sign. Being as as it's smaller now than it was the previous scan. But they found another one in my lower right lung that's not very big. So they're not real sure it's cancer yet because it's so small.
Right, right.
So overall, I think I'm doing pretty darn good, but they're still insisting, that I go to this palliative care thing, which, as I understand it, is about the same thing as hospice.
I'm not sure, but yeah, because I don't know. Pilot care, I think is just it's like a stage lower than hospice.
Yes, exactly.
Hospice would be in-house. You're going to them instead of them coming to you. So it's almost like they're hey, we want to prepare you for hospice, so we need you to start coming here. Hey, Ronnie, you ain't gonna need no hospice. You're gonna kick this.
No, well, I don't think I am either, to be honest with you. But a couple things they help you do is not only help with pain management, which believe me, I do need that, but they also help with errands or housekeeping and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
right.
So that would be great because I'm up here by myself and I could use some help every once in a while.
Yeah. Yep. I understand that. Yeah. Your daughter comes up and helps you quite a bit though, which is really awesome to see.
She does. She hadn't been able to make it up this week, but yeah, she comes up quite often and helps out.
Yeah.
Which I'm very thankful for. But and I will go see this palliative care, or however it's said, doctor, because I want to find out, exactly what it is and exactly what they do.
Right. Right.
I don't totally know that yet.
Yep. Yeah. That's it's kind of crazy, but I'm glad to see that at one angle of this that you've got one part of this looks like it's under control.
Yeah, well, you know what, Hawk? I was really planning on going in and them saying, "Oh, it's grown." It's whatever millimeters, however they go by. I was expecting to say it's really grown. I was just prepared for the worst and hope for the best. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
But I think I come out really ahead in the deal, because the big one has shrank, however you say that, and the bottom one in the other lung, they're not even sure that it's cancer yet. But I was also told that this is what's called non-small cell cancer, and it's real, according to them, it's real bad about spreading and metastasizing, however that word goes.
Yeah. Okay, but, metastasized. Yeah.
I think I came out ahead, quite a bit ahead myself.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. I was praying for you this morning.
Believe me, and I appreciate that, Hawk, and everybody that has said prayers for me. I think that's the most important thing and helpful thing that there is.
Yeah. Prayer is important. Prayer is super, 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 super important. It tends to be, it's a conduit, to ensuring that you got help from every angle.
Yes, sir. And my way of thinking about it is that it goes straight to our God in heaven, and the more prayers that are sent up, like a video I played last night, some people didn't take too good, but it's like raising the vibration, instead of lowering it, the prayers are raising, the vibrations, the good vibrations.
Right. Yep. The objective is to get to the true love or pure love vibration, which is, I believe, 528.
Yes, sir.
Yep. It's I pay attention.
That's exactly what I'm hoping for is that all those, and I know they will, all those prayers, whether a person believes in God or not, and I do, but I still believe that those that the prayers sent in with good intentions,
right,
produce good vibrations, and that it's about our aura and everything. So
exactly,
it certainly, I can only speak for myself. It certainly makes me feel better inside to know that people are praying for me.
Yeah, you got quite a few. You got, I would say probably 100 and something on my side, and another 60 to 80 on your side. Where two or more gathered in my name.
There you go. Exactly.
You
nailed it right there, Hawk. That's it.
Yep. And it's and we're all asking for the same thing, And the thing is guys like Job, Samson, and many others. They weren't just praying for themselves. They were, they had many people around them were praying for them, and that's that they survived as long as they did because other people cared to put their voices in there. The whole idea of it is what is asked in his name shall be given. So we're asking for healing for you, 100%, back to normal, to be able to have your life back and be able to do all the things that you deserve to experience in your lifetime, it's way too important.
Well, and I'm not trying to make this into a whole story or anything here, but I think, what happened with me along the way is my wife died in 2016, in August of 2016. And I guess I'm like everybody else. I leaned on her a lot and she leaned on me. Well, you never know how much you miss that leaning post, until it's gone. And so now I haven't got anybody no human to really lean on. So now I'm leaning more on God. If that makes any sense there.
Nope, that's who we're supposed to lean on.
Yes, exactly. That is yes, sir. That's my point.
Yep. So I've been we've been talking about this Ingersoll Lockwood site. I'm going to pull it back up here. Dave and I were talking about it just as you were coming in, but he had to run while I was making that video because his family showed up, and they're having dinner tonight. So I clicked on a couple of these things. So the T in team takes us to a YouTube video of Trump Winery. Experience Trump Winery. This is the video here. And it's a 2-minute, 15-second long video. It's
the old world and what we think of as the new world in terms of California. We're literally right in the middle. So Virginia absolutely should be thought of as wine country, and we certainly do here. This vineyard block is actually a new vineyard block that we put in since Trump purchased it. There's been a lot of investment, and this particular block, we're right at the top of our property, so a little bit above 1,200 feet. Hands down the best vineyard block that we have here, and certainly takes the most amount of work and investment in order to plant a block like this. Clearing all of the rock, prepping the soil and getting the plant material in here, it is no small feat. So making very specific qualitative decisions that very often are much more expensive than anything else, but done 100% for the purposes of quality fruit in the end, which ultimately is the only way to make good wine. Our number one selling wine actually is our Meritage. It's a Bordeaux style blend. People really, really love it. Followed very closely, they're neck and neck with our Blanc de Blanc. The 2014 vintage last year won the best sparkling wine in North America. So San Francisco Chronicle wine competition, the largest North American wine competition in the country. 6,300 wines submitted, and the Blanc de Blanc won the best sparkling. So it's been the goal from the beginning, is having wines that are age-worthy and that can compete with the best wines around the world. And we're doing it, and doing it really successfully.
So that's Trump Winery.
Well, what is
up on there?
What is the meaning of the winery thing? I mean, I'm trying to put this together in my head, and I'm not
sure. I'm not sure, but so my next one is gonna end up bringing me to that one. The S in is the year is 2023 5784. When I click that, it pulls up the Abraham Accords Declaration, where you can actually download the entire declaration, which is actually kind of cool. But it gives you each of the agreements. So you got the Israel-Bahrain agreement, you got the Israel-UAE agreement, you got the Israel-Morocco agreement, and the Sudan agreement. Okay. Then when you go to the 3 L's, it goes to that one that we had up the last time. Why did Jesus not defend himself before Pilate? Because he already knew what the outcome was going to be. Okay, then down here at the bottom, right next to copyright, there's a C in parentheses. You click on that one, and it brings you to a web archive of declass from Space Force. Future proves past. Wait a second here. Where have we heard future proves past? How can you say that you're not affiliated or know anything in regards to Q and come up with that?
No kidding.
Okay. And it goes into talking about Majestic 12. Okay. It goes down here. It goes into, Stars and Stripes, Hitler dead. We all know that Hitler wasn't dead.
Absolutely.
News of Hitler's death, but is it true? And was the world lied to about Hitler's death? Was it a double? Did he have an exit plan? Maybe U-boat U-1229 scuttled off the coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts, U.S., or was it his double that returned from his bizarre last-minute trip to the Antarctic on either the U-530 or U-977 while he stayed behind at base 211, followed by an escape to Chile or Argentina? I mean, these are questions that we've all been asking in regards to where Hitler is concerned. So there's a lot of information here. How Hoover covered up the sightings of Hitler in Argentina. There's the U-boat captains, and a whole bunch of information on there. So, but then you go to the 17. Okay, to the 17. And you click that, and what comes up? Phil Wickman. The battle belongs. All right. Christian kid. He's been doing music for the TV series The Chosen. And this is a totally spiritual song. If you guys don't know this song, I'm actually gonna drop the link for this. This kid is incredible. He does some great music. Okay. But let's go back to the Ingersoll page, and there's the A in Americans, and we'll open that up in another link. And what does that bring us to? That brings us to a sunset listen through Hymn of Heaven, also by Phil Wickman. Okay. And it was set to the 17-minute marker where you came into the video. Okay. So very, very interesting where these things are linking to, knowing that that these guys have absolutely nothing to do with Q. Okay. Let's go to the F in funds. The F in funds takes us where? To the U.S. debt clock. Today is Friday, so that means that there should be a secret window. Woodrow Wilson. I am a most unhappy man. Have unwittingly ruined my country. A great industrial nation is controlled by its system of credit. Our system of credit is concentrated. The growth of the nation, therefore, and all our activities are in the hands of a few men. We have come to be one of the worst ruled, one of the most completely controlled and dominated governments in this civilized world. No longer a government by free opinion, no longer a government by conviction and the vote of the majority, but a government by the opinion and the duress of a small group of dominant men.
Well, wasn't he right, though? My goodness gracious.
1913 to 1921. And it shows what the purchasing power of gold is, and how it's gone down, in the, it's, from the 1913s, all the way through 1971. And then all the way down over to 2023, we see that, it's basically 3 cents to the dollar. That's what the value of the American dollar is right now.
Yeah, the dollar's tumbled something terrible. As a matter of fact, it's about to go completely out of business, in my opinion.
Yep.
But the gold, excuse me, and silver have been artificially suppressed for decades now. Because they wanted all that to themselves. They knew that the dollar, no paper money is going to be able to stand up long if it's not backed by something good. I mean, it just can't. And so they knew that, and that's what they were doing, and buying up all the gold and silver and stuff.
Yep. So, yeah. So that's just a couple of the links on that one page. And yeah, it's like let's look at the C by case. This is where the Google Earth one came in that you guys missed, and it always brings to that mountain in Antarctica. Okay. And how do I know that it's Antarctica? Well, I'm going to show you how. Okay. So here's that little cave. Okay. Right here where the red mark is in the middle there. Okay. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. Here we go. Zooming out more. And guess where we are? Antarctica. That place is huge. Huge. So that just gives you.
It would, and I'm not trying to bring up any kind of an argument here in the chat or anything, but and I know you've had to have heard this before, Hawk, about the ice wall that we're supposed to be right in the middle of. I'm just saying, how much bigger would it be if that were the case? Or would it be the same size but maybe narrower? I mean, I don't know. I'm just.
Yep. Well, you never really know. You never really know. All right, those of you that are on Truthcast or on Rumble right now, just to let you know, I'm going to go ahead and drop the podcast on that side, so that if Ronnie wants to bring up his channels, he can put them in, and possibly we may have Dave back later. I'm not positive, but we know that he is moving forward with getting things together and ready to come back to you guys as frequently as possible. So let's bear with him and work with that.
So Dave's been up today?
Yeah, Dave was up just before you got here. So yeah, he was only here for a few minutes. So we're going to go ahead and drop the Rumble side right now, because I'm going to be playing some other videos and stuff, and they're already posted up on Rumble. So let's go ahead and do this, and drop that and save changes, and we are good to go. Okay. Yeah, so we were really just getting going. The only thing that we've watched today so far is the space shot, the Table of Titans. So you're here in time to watch And We Know, which was released at about 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning. And then still have the X-22 report from today to do. I don't even know if he's put one up. I should probably check that and see if he's actually posted it. He may not even post it today. Yeah, nope, nothing new on that end.
I think what I'll do, Hawk, is if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and stream this to my audience too. And
yeah, that's fine. Absolutely.
And then a chap's already asked me to be on with him tonight. Now he don't know exactly what time yet, so I think what I'm gonna do is once I get this get it shared to mine, is I'm going to just drop back down and rest a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely no problem. No problem. Yeah, because I'm gonna do the And We Know. Was there some? I think there was. Yeah, I have the And We Know, and if X-22 isn't posted yet, then that's probably going to be the end of after that. Yeah. So, and I'll probably come over and watch you guys tonight, anyways. And Mrs. Bullfrog just dropped your link into the chat for people. If you guys are not subscribers to Rondi, I would recommend going ahead and doing that. Ron puts out a lot of great content. He references me when it comes to certain videos that he doesn't play because like that I've already played them.
Yeah, no kidding. I
Yeah.
had those same videos lined up for last night, but then I saw that you had played them. I was watching you, I think, while you was playing the last one, maybe. And I thought, well, darn him.
Yeah, yeah. It's the reason that I play SGT. Sean is, what I like about him is he's a straight down the middle guy where it comes to people's opinions in regards to like religious side, and then with the alien galactic federation saving kind of thing, kind of thing. And let's see here. You guys drive me crazy sometimes. You're not streaming. Yes, I did. Oh yeah, it's actually let's go ahead and do that. Let me pull up this that guy that they've been hunting for in where is it? I'm trying to remember what state he's in that the government was going after. That they were doing a big manhunt about him.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of his name either.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird name.
Slow Country sent me a new thing. He's actually how I found out that we weren't streaming. I would have kept going and not even known. Okay, let's check this out. Let's see. Let's see.
Outside New York City at this hour in Middlesex. Now to the urgent manhunt 40 miles outside New York City at this hour in Middlesex County, New Jersey, after a suspect wanted in the January 6th attack evaded authorities. This was the scene in central New Jersey today, a massive police presence. The FBI and SWAT teams called in. ABC's Stephanie Ramos on the scene for us tonight.
An all-out manhunt tonight in this small central New Jersey town just 40 miles southwest of New York City, after this man, wanted in connection to the attack at the Capitol on January 6, evaded arrest. Gregory Yetman fleeing on foot into the wooded area near his home. Police searching from the sky and on the ground. According to USA Today, Yetman is suspect number 278 AFO, wanted for assault of a federal officer, pictured at the Capitol in these photos on the FBI's website. In an interview earlier this year, Yetman indicated he was at the Capitol that day, but said he did nothing wrong. The FBI leading the multi-agency manhunt in the town of Helmetta. Officers in tactical gear, looking in vehicles, teams moving through backyards, armed with long guns and canines.
There were officers running through everybody's yards, asking questions.
Even though the sun has gone down, we can still see Joint Terrorism Task Force agents going door to door looking for Yetman. According to police, Yetman is in his 40s, last seen wearing a red jacket and baseball cap. He served in the New Jersey National Guard for 12 years and was honorably discharged in March of 2022.
They are determined to attain this gentleman today. That is their effort.
Tonight, authorities are urging residents to shelter in place. Streets here in Helmetta were closed for a period of time. Tactical vehicles and law enforcement officers are still lining this street behind me, which is near the house where authorities believe Yetman was staying. David, it is still a very active scene here.
All right, Stephanie Ramos reporting tonight. Steph, thank you.
Okay, so now the post that goes with this says, let's see, I spoke with Todd Yetman, brother of Gregory, the man hunted down by FBI for January 6 related offenses. The conversation was sad, infuriating, and in some instances funny. First, he said the FBI staked out their home for 3 months prior to the raid on Wednesday. Todd, Greg, and another brother lived together in the home their father built in New Jersey. After Todd and his other brother left for work after 6 a.m., Greg left the house around 7 a.m. to go to work. They all work for the same company. That's when armed FBI agents and SWAT vehicles surrounded Greg. Greg walked out froze in the face of guns drawn and ran. A woman who lives with them heard the commotion. When she opened the door, she faced armed agents who told her to get on the ground. She thought they were being robbed. She thought she was being robbed. About 30 armed agents stormed the house and property. They threw flashbangs inside areas of the property, including the garage. This resulted in broken windows of vehicles and a boat. They were nutty, tore up the house, stuff scattered everywhere. Agents told Todd after he returned to the house that afternoon from work to open his gun safe. When he refused, they told him if he didn't, they would break it open. Although not a defendant, FBI took his guns and ammo. Todd confronted the agents, asking who killed someone. They treated my brother like a criminal, Todd said. Vehicles were everywhere, blocking the driveway, parked around the property. FBI and local law enforcement used helicopters, drones, and search dogs to try and track down Greg. That's when Todd again confronted agents. Go get Hunter. Go get Joe Biden, Todd said. Every one of you is corrupt. You're all Joe Biden's puppets. He demanded to know why they were not arresting Antifa or BLM. Then they asked him not to be rude. LOL. News reporters were staked out near the house the entire time. The FBI asked Todd if the media tried to interview him. He said no, but hoped they had. They are as corrupt, but hope they had. They are as corrupt as you guys. Law enforcement issued an emergency bulletin to neighbors to shelter in place. Even the small town's mayor told residents Yetman was not a threat. Greg Yetman turned himself in this morning without incident. Todd doesn't know where his brother went the past 2 nights or where he is now. He would give you the shirt off his back, Todd said. He helps everyone. Greg, according to his brother, served in Afghanistan and Iraq. He also worked as a guard at Gitmo. He's been a National Guardsman since, but he quit after refusing to take the COVID jab. I'm sick to my stomach, Todd said. There will be no justice. That's the sad thing about it. I feel bad for the country and for my kids. As for tonight, DOJ has not yet filed any charging documents detailing Greg's offenses. Some reports claim Greg used pepper spray against police. Even so, this is not the criminal normal protocol for arresting an individual accused of spraying police nearly 3 years later. This is all about optics and juicing DOJ's domestic terror data ahead of Trump's January 6th trial. Jack Smith recently admitted in the motion that the trial would prove Trump was responsible for the events of January 6th. Also, this account is consistent with other accounts of FBI raids against January 6th protesters. And Greg Yetman was the only American arrested this week for January 6th. 5 others have been charged, including 2 women on trespassing misdemeanors. DOJ boasted in a January 6th update this week that more than 1,200 individuals have been arrested and charged over the 4-hour disturbance. U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves warned the final count would exceed 2,000.
You know, forgive the hell out of me, but this guy, just like I would bet all the rest of them, are totally innocent of anything they've accused him of, and yet they're hunting them down like dogs. It seems to me, Hawk, that they're trying to force people that really love this country and want to stand.
They're trying to force us into a civil war.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Right there.
They're trying to force us into a civil war.
That's exactly right. That's where I was headed.
You know,
it just stinks. I mean, it's awful.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So it's ridiculous, and Joe Biden needs to be in prison, and then he needs to be executed. And as far as I'm concerned, with his son doing the complacency of his son, and the fact that he assisted in all of this and manufactured a good portion of it, I think he should die right alongside his father.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You and me both.
Yep. And Jill too, because we know that he's a handler, so, yeah, 100%.
Well, we're supposed to have the right to, peacefully assemble. Now, taking into mind that the people that were doing all that crap that day at the Capitol were not, I repeat, were not Trump supporters. Yeah, a few of them went in to the Capitol because they were led in and more or less shown around by the police and everything there. But the ones that actually did all the destruction were not Trump supporters.
Yeah. And the thing is like that, the Q shaman there, I had never heard of him other than him showing up at a couple of Antifa things, and he was siding with them in the videos that at the protests that the video showed him at, and the fact that he's supposed to represent all the January 6ers and that he was the leader of the movement. He ain't the leader of nothing.
No, I think he was a plant by somebody to make it look like, to make all of us seem nutty.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to know if Jacob Chansley was treated the same way as the rest of the January 6th prisoners. If he was locked into solitary confinement for 3 months, 6 months at a time, and everything else that these poor guys are going through. So there's a huge Wathing narrative there that gives me great concern. And just because you got some fancy headdress doesn't mean that you're the leader of anything, or that people are going to follow you. It's to me, it's just ridiculous. You're making yourself out to be something that you're not. Because like I said, you ain't the leader of shit, because I ain't never heard of you up until that point. So
it should give all of us great concern. If you love this country, you love what it's supposed to stand for, not what it is right now. And I think most of us do, even the liberals, in the country. I think they love our country. They just got a lot of them still got that warped sense of, where we're at and where we're going right now.
They're still being led by mainstream media.
Yes.
What they need to do is be listening to mustard seed media. That's what you should be listening to. We are the new MSM.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Well, I would bet that that you don't even have to put all of us small guys together. Just very few of us to way outnumber the mainstream media in its reach and the people that listen.
Right. Yep.
It pisses me off so bad I can't understand what they've done to our country.
Yeah, and it's now they're threatening to take down the net and censor like crazy. It's not like you haven't been doing that already, guys.
No,
not like you haven't been doing that already. But time is going to come where the comeuppance, and it's going to be extremely painful for these people when the narrative shifts. When the narrative shifts, that's going to be the end of them, and the beginning and the rise of us. I don't want no job working at some news station or anything like that. When this is all over, I'm going to be doing music and pot. That's what I'm going to be.
There you go.
music shows and pot. I'm gonna we're gonna set up a studio where bands come out. They stay for a few days, and they go into the studio and they do a show for you, and get interviewed at at different points of it and things like that, things like that. But it's want to do kind of like an Imus in the Morning kind of news talk show, where people can call in and ask questions, because that was the one thing I liked about Don Imus was, he always did the call-ins, it made a big difference on the show, and it kept him honest,
Absolutely. And here's the thing about that Catman guy, or what, the one they hunted down or finally give up.
Yeah.
It said he served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and he was a guard at Gitmo and then in the National Guard for all those years.
Makes you wonder.
Yes, it does. It certainly does.
We need the plans for Gitmo.
Yeah, even beyond that, I could go into some hellacious conspiracy theories here that I won't do because I don't want to bore everybody to death with them. But I mean, my goodness, when you've been a guard at Gitmo, I'll just say one really quick. Being a guard at Gitmo, wouldn't that be the perfect thing to really bring people in from both sides? I mean, get them to thinking.
Yep. Yeah, especially if he starts saying who's really at Gitmo.
Yes. Yes.
Yep, that could be interesting. Very interesting. So, all right, well, let's get into our next video. I know you want to relax a little bit before you have to run off and do your thing with Big Chap. But yeah, you're welcome to hang out and chat with everybody. And let's go ahead and get this video here fired up.
Well, how long you plan on being on, Hawk? I may be back. I mean, I don't know, but
a couple hours. If X22 ends up dropping theirs by the time and we know it's done, I'll end up doing that. But right now it doesn't. I haven't seen any change on BitChute as to whether X22 even put one out today. Actually, I should probably just go to his website and check. I do that sometimes.
Every once in a while, huh?
Yeah. It's crazy. Let's see. Yeah, see, it shows on his website that the last one that he did was 3208, which is the one that I played yesterday. And I'm not seeing anything for anything new. And it says next report on Friday at November 10th. That's today. So maybe he's just actually probably check Rumble real quick and see if X22 search X22 reports. And oh yeah, he's got them up. Well, nope, that's from yesterday. So he has not posted anything and he has not gone live today. So he is he's running late.
I bet he does sometime for the day is over.
Yeah, there's a good chance of that. Always a good chance of that. So let's see. Oh, I'm getting emails out the wazoo right now. I got a interaction request survey about my internet company and how quickly they got it back up and running. And I'm like, listen, if I got to call you to tell you that there's a problem, then I don't think I should be filling out your survey, because I'm going to be blunt and honest that your service sucks. But they're the only ones out here on my side of the highway. Now, if I lived on the other side of the highway, I could have high speed, Comcast type internet. Okay. But I got CenturyLink on this side, on the west side of the highway. And that's all you can get out here. It's bad. It's bad. We're using equipment from like 20 years ago, and it's all DSL,
But
so
you know what? I think, even overall with you being back up the next day, I think they got out there real quick, because of mine, they probably wouldn't have been out till next week.
Yeah.
Even with me calling them. I mean, I don't know. I've never had to do that yet. Well, I had to do it one time when the strength of my signal coming in was real weak, but that was done over the phone, and they just flipped a button or whatever it is they do. But and that was pretty quick. But if they had to literally come out here, it would probably take them a week.
Yeah. So I'm looking at their website. No report Friday, November 10th. Next report will be Sunday, November 12th. Happy Veterans Day. Okay. So, yep. So after, and we know I'm pretty much done for the night, unless SGT ends up dropping something. But if they drop it, maybe I'll just pass it off to you, and so that you can play it on your side.
That'll work.
So yeah, that'll work. absolutely. Yeah.
Message to the.
Yep. So, all right, guys, let's get into this. Here we go. Digital Hawk, I have the Starlink disc out there. I just can't afford their prices right now for service. So it's but I do have the equipment. I own the equipment. So and when I move, I get to take it with me. So that's the cool thing. Yeah.
Well, Hawk, I'll try to holler back at you in a little while. If not, well, thanks for letting me up, brother. Appreciate you.
Well, you got the link, so you can always jump back up if you want. And I'm not sure what time you and Big Chap are going live, so but you figure I'll be done in about an hour and well, actually, how long is this video? It's about an hour and 15 minutes. I should be done.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what time he's going on either. He's had to drive from one town to another, and so it may be the next 30 minutes. It may be 2 more hours. I don't know. That's why I want to rest up a little bit, for.
Right.
But anyway, thanks, and thanks to everybody in the chat for the prayers, and you, Hawk. I really appreciate them.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Yeah, it's you're a good man, and you deserve to have people praying for you. So,
thank you very much. We'll talk in a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Okay. So I'm going to put that off. Let's see. Okay, get rid of that. And let me close out that. And let me close out that. And here we go with And We Know.
Message to the game bangers and anybody else that's engaged in a lifestyle that put babies like this and our seniors in jeopardy of their lives. We're telling you, there is no coming together with you. Period. There is no uniting with you. Let it be known from this day forward, you are our enemy. Period.
And there is no other topic right now. There is no other topic that I'm concerning myself with save the preservation of the next generation from a mass murdering, genocidal, psychopathic group of criminals who've decided that they can look on a 5-year-old with contempt.
We have continued beatdowns of the evil mainstream media, governments in small towns getting taken care of, the Biden crime family exposed, and so much more. Some of this today might not be suitable for children as we discuss Pizzagate a little bit later on and the trafficking crimes that are unfolding before our eyes. We're also going to see the FBI and their crimes. This is going to be good. Hang on.
Tell your wife and children I'll be sailing with you. It's gonna rain. Better get on board. It's gonna rain.
I invite you to join me and the And We Know family on a cruise to Majestic, Alaska, August 11th through the 18th, 2024. We will chart our adventure aboard the luxurious Holland America's Westernum, cruising us to historic Alaskan ports like Juneau and Ketchikan. Destinations renowned for their scenery, teeming with forest and wildlife, the freshest caught salmon, and other delicious cuisine, and known for the locals' family charm. The Isaacs are coming too, and we can't wait to sing worship and patriotic songs by this renowned award-winning group. We'll also enjoy powerful biblical messages and share life stories with my family and me. Listen in on a live podcast recording and have Q&A time and interviews with special guests. So visit andweknow.com and book your trip with LT and the family today.
Get on board.
Just cutting that back until the music's over.
Get on board. Get on board. That was so much fun to make. Had a good time putting it together and just can't wait to gather with everyone next year in August. And we're just going to have a blast. Did you guys hear that music? I mean, looking for the right song to put it together. And there they have talking about getting on board. So cool. Oh, just love it. So again, that's in the description box below. Check it out. Here we are with President Trump and something motivate us getting started.
Each American generation passes the torch of truth, liberty, and justice in an unbroken chain all the way down to the present. That torch is now in our hands, and we will use it to light up the world. I am here tonight to deliver a message of unity and strength, and it is a message deeply delivered from my heart. A new chapter of American greatness is now beginning. A new national pride is sweeping across our nation, and a new surge of optimism is placing impossible dreams firmly within our grasp. What we are witnessing today is the renewal of the American spirit. Our allies will find that America is once again ready to lead. I am asking all citizens to embrace this renewal of the American spirit. I am asking all members of Congress to join me in dreaming big and bold and daring things for our country. I am asking everyone watching tonight to seize this moment, believe in yourselves, believe in your future, and believe once more in America. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the United States.
Very powerful. It's good to hear him in that capacity. Miss that, and looking forward to getting him back in that seat and finishing what he started. Also, just want to make sure we got a shout out to the Marines. Happy birthday to the United States Marines. On this November 10th, we celebrate those who fought before us with an eye toward the fights we'll win tomorrow. Semper Fidelis, always faithful. Outstanding. Want to make sure we get that out there. And also to all veterans, thank you for your service. We get into Veterans Day. So also talking about some big things that happened. Wanted to make sure we mention this. Elected officials, doctors, lawyers among clients who paid for sex at illegal Massachusetts brothels, feds say. Also developing feds bust up Asian brothels operating in Washington, D.C. area whose clients include elected officials, Pentagon officers, and federal contractors with security clearance. Prostitution ring run out of luxury apartments in Fairfax and Tysons, Virginia. Also, 10 members and associates of the Gambino crime family arrested in coordinated U.S. Italian takedown, charged with racketeering, conspiracy involving violent extortions, assaults, arson, and union-related crimes. What is going on, folks? If you say nothing's happening and you continue to say that, and you see headlines like this and more happening, and all behind the scenes, it is absolutely brilliant and amazing. Also, Senator Marsha Blackburn announces subpoenas for Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs, and I believe Comer signed those. Here you go.
And since we're in the business
No, I think he signed for Biden's. I'm sorry. He signed something to go after the Bidens. Okay.
of issuing subpoenas now, here are a few more that I filed. A subpoena to Jeffrey Epstein's estate to provide the flight logs for his private plane, given the numerous allegations of human trafficking and sexual abuse surrounding Mr. Epstein. I think it is very important that we identify everybody that was on that plane and how many trips they took on that plane and the destinations to which they arrived.
Now, that is amazing to come up now out of all the days and months and years to bring this up. Now, interesting because we're going to talk about that. Ricky Gervais, remember his knockdown a few years back of the elites. Maxwell Trial Tracker, remember days since conviction of sex trafficking kids, 476. Clients identified and arrested in Black Book, 0. We're going to talk about all of this and more, show you some clips, show the envelopes that were open once again and discuss that. We're going to talk about Pizzagate, as you see it there. And President Trump even brought this up in Florida on his rally there here recently. I mean, there's a lot to going on with that, and I'm going to get to that eventually, but I wanted to get on some bigger ticket items that I think are important. Number one, Trump never down talks Vivek. Ever. Almost as if, and this is what a lot of folks are saying, Vivek was sent in to get the corruption exposed. So it's almost like he's a Trojan horse in a sense, making sure that everyone watching and listening in hears this, and some of them might be hearing it for the first time. Here we go with clip one. I got some more later.
Mr. Ramaswamy, let me turn to you. Please make your case. Why should you be the nominee and not the former president?
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers at the end of the day. It was a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you. And frankly, look, the people there are cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. You think the Democrats, I mean, we've got Kristen Welker here. You think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because it's actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
Mr. Ross.
Sorry. This is how we get our country back. We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to Governor Christie.
And he gets cut off. Oh, so brilliant. I loved it. Loved because he has the guts to stand there in front of a crowd and let them know exactly who these snakes are as they smile with that mask on. These CIA agents, most of them, getting paid to do their job, to push propaganda, continue to push wars, and to destroy our election integrity. So President Trump has Dan Scavino Jr. always posting for him, I believe, and he had something interesting where he puts the picture, video, whatever you call it, of the sun. It's almost epic in a way because House Republicans subpoena Biden's son and brother in impeachment inquiry. Yep. They have officially subpoenaed Hunter Biden. Here comes the son. What happens if Biden became POTUS, knowing he, through Hunter +2, took massive amounts of bribes to look the other way, U.S. policy towards China? Also interesting, the House Republicans, accountability is here. They posted the New York Post with the headline, if you're listening in, you're going to like this one, Hunter becomes the hunted. House subpoenas say Biden's son must testify. Where have we seen that phrase? Maybe we've seen it on the Intel board, I call it. Many folks still want to hear about it, still want to know what's going on from that board. Why? Because the mainstream media will attack it day in and day out, only giving it 100% negative, never giving you a balanced, healthy look at anything. Why? Free speech is gone. You try to go on a mainstream media show and bring this up and show them how all of this is matching up over and over again. And oh, by the way, how many times has President Trump in the past few months posted something from the Intel board? More than 600 times. I saw that. I read it. Can't find it right now, but I just remember reading it. Why would he keep doing that? Your ability to spread information across the digital battlefield and bypass their control is what they fear. And why are they doing everything in their power to disrupt? Daily attacks, false labeling, censorship, termination, government hearings, foundation to term and censor, terminate and censor. Keep charging, midnight riders. Keep on charging. There's something going on. And with that charge, you might want to consider checking out more of what they are trying to do to us. Update, FBI offers $10,000 reward for information on J6 protester and retired Armory Sergeant Gregory Yetman as they hunt him like a dog in New Jersey woods. Yeah. More of that's playing out. The FBI Gestapo continue the hunt for a J6 Trump supporter. He's on a most wanted list with reward now. We're now a police state. They continued their hunt. Continued their hunt for his actions January 6, 2021. The FBI is now offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest. Can you believe this? Can you believe it? I think they already got him, if I remember reading that right. So I'm putting this together. So now 2.5 years later, heavily armed FBI agents are now chasing Gregory Yetman through the woods of New Jersey like a dog. The FBI and local police are hunting him in New Jersey woods near his home. The manhunt was first reported on Wednesday when local news media was tipped off during the raid. So I've got a video clip of that. Let's see. Where is it? Right here. Yeah, let me bring this over here and play.
We're really patrolling the whole property looking for the suspect. Yet to find that suspect. And again, the FBI is asking that if you know anything about the location of Gregory Yetman, please call the FBI field office in Newark at 973-792-3000. And live in Middlesex County, Tom's Wire, Chapter 4. Adam, back to you.
Okay, you see that tactical team armed there going in to search a shed in Middlesex County. Tom's Wire over the scene in Chopper 4.
Now, could he have been one of the guys that was a play actor for this whole thing? I don't know. I mean, everything that I keep showing you guys day in and day out comes from a great Woo's News on Rumble. I've showed you this over and over again, but I'm going to show it to you again here in a moment. Representative Matt Gaetz says, check this out with the FBI. 70 Republicans voted to reward the weaponized FBI with a new $300 million headquarters larger than the Pentagon. And he added, sad. What in the world is going on with this uniparty, one-party system? And that's why Vivek did what he did, said what he said. I've got some more to share with you on him in a moment. First, you might want to check out these backpacks for some great future trips.
Well, adventure awaits. Are you ready to embark on your next journey? Introducing the And We Know Backpack, perfect companion for all your outdoor escapades. Crafted with premium materials and meticulous attention to detail, this backpack is built to withstand any adventure. With its ample storage space and smart organization, you can easily pack all your essentials and keep them within reach. From rugged trails to urban explorations, this versatile backpack is designed to adapt to any environment. Experience unparalleled comfort with padded shoulder straps and support back panel, allowing you to carry your belongings effortlessly. That's not all. Our backpack comes in 2 colors, camo and black. So go in that description box below or go to shop.andweknow.com. Click on that ad and it will take you straight there. You'll get this backpack, a game changer for my outdoor adventures. I love how organized and comfortable it is. It's my go-to travel companion. Check it out. That's shop.andweknow.com.
Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, got a $5 million bribe from Ukraine. That's why we're sending $200 billion back to that same country. The fact of the matter is the Republican Party is not that much better. You have the likes of Nikki Haley, who stepped down from her time at the UN. Bankrupt or in debt was her family. Then she becomes a military contractor. She joins the board of Boeing and otherwise, and is now a multimillionaire. So I think that that's wrong when Republicans do it or Democrats do it. That's the choice we face. Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first? Or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
All right, Mr.
In which case, we've got
Ramaswamy.
2 of them on stage
Mr.
tonight.
Ramaswamy, thank you.
Oh my goodness. The 3-inch heels. You guys know what that is? I don't think I've ever told you if you only listen to me. I mean, I hope you guys check out some other truthers, but yeah, old Ron DeSantis caught wearing hidden heels, and that's where the reference 3-inch heels comes from. Some people say, oh, it's just something they made up. He didn't deny it. And they all belong to Dick Cheney and the Bushes and more. You see this stuff playing out day in and day out. We're getting rewarded with just one big slam after another, one big exposure after another. And that's why I like to see Professor Patriot always bringing some positive information to make sure that we're informed and excited. I just keep seeing wins, he says. Maybe I'm Pollyanna, man, but I try to be realistic. I really do. I see narratives crumbling. I see a handful of important court decisions that actually follow the law. Oh, yeah, that kind of reminds me. What did I have earlier to show you guys? Oh, when he talks about the court decisions. Well, I don't know. Maybe this could be one of them. I'm going to bring this over from MJ Truth, Ultra MJ Truth, sorry. The coup d'etat of America. Italian and U.S. intelligence testimony that the 2020 U.S. election was stolen from President Donald Trump. You got to be kidding me. So there's a 24-minute video, sworn testimony from Maria Zach on the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Let's kind of
Zach from
dig in a
Nations
little
in
bit.
Action, and we are an organization that's devoted to transparent government, transformative politicians, trustworthy parties, and truthful media. The Italian Secret Service actually received information from Arturo's girlfriend, he considers wife because they've been together so long. Her uncle is part of the Italian intelligence services. She said, Uncle, Arturo came home and said he doesn't understand why we're stealing America's election.
Wow. So let me read some of this because I can't go through the full 24 minutes. Quote, something has happened. We're watching a coup in the United States of America. China is buying up politicians around the world, buying up property, and in some instances, entire countries. In Italy, Leonardo, a defense contracting firm, had strange people come and go from Frankfurt into the Italian U.S. embassy. According to Italian intelligence, they were at Leonardo to change the results of the 2020 presidential election. This was a calculated attempt to take down presidencies and control entire countries. A hand-delivered letter that described how the election was stolen was delivered to Donald Trump on Christmas Eve in 2020. Arturo de Elia was willing to testify. Larry Johnson, CIA and State Department head, in an audio recording reveals there was an operation to rescue Arturo, but it never happened, and it was buried. Man, almost sounds like Madam Secretary episode. Anyway, John Durham is in possession of documents relating to Barack Obama moving $400 million in pallets of cash to the Dubai embassy into the Merrill Lynch Bank in Geneva, Switzerland. Wow. Follow the coup. 5 Italian government officials, including an ambassador, was murdered. This coincides with Marco Polo's report on the CCP using the Italian defense contractor Leonardo SPA to steal U.S. aerospace technology. Leonardo's SPA was in business with the same UBS Securities that infused $400 million into Staple Street Capital, the owner of Dominion Voting Systems, just weeks before the 2020 presidential election. And it coincides with the Supreme Court of Italy legal counsel testifying under oath about interference in the 2020 election. Isn't this something? Wow. So again, back to Professor Patriot. He sees the narratives crumbling. He sees massive overreach and subsequent exposure. The mainstream media is faltering. Yep. The House is inexplicably controlled by MAGA Republicans. Well, seems so, but sometimes they get some others voting the wrong way. Anyway, and when they lose an argument, the rhinos have to hop in bed with Dems, which is never pretty. So we're starting to see the rhinos exposed even more, right? Woke businesses are throttling back, and car companies are scrambling to build what sells to save themselves from jumping headfirst into the EV pit of doom. Oh, yeah. Bigger and bigger voices are raised to deliver truth, and it's sticking. The new mRNA death jab, for example, has 3% administration rate. And Big Pharma is drowning in lost value over it. That's right. I like trends, and what I see is an information war trending positive. There's no doubt there are massive challenges. That's right. And the turd bakers are still making war, lying, stealing, ruining lives, but their main weapons to do so are being undermined. Call me an irrational optimist, but I like where we are headed. I remain comfy. Yeah, I mean, where else are we heading? Oh, yeah. More of this, please. Michigan Town voted out its entire government over their plans to build a Chinese electric car battery plant. Thank you, Ultra MJ, for posting this one.
Well, now continuing coverage of Election Day 2023.
People from one town in Michigan are using their votes to get rid of their entire board.
Jim Chapman, 498. Jason Cruz, 740.
And those cheers erupting as voters heard the results. The move was all due to the board previously allowing a company with international ties, specifically China, to break ground in their town. Senior national correspondent Brian Enton was there.
This is really a story about small town America versus China, and in this case, small town America won. Green Charter Township, Michigan. They basically took out their entire local government last night in a recall election. They took out the entire town board because they were upset the board had voted to greenlight a Chinese-affiliated electric vehicle battery manufacturer, a massive plant with plans to come to town. It upset the citizens. They organized. They had this recall election, upset with the board members who okayed the project. And they were able to take the entire board out.
We want everyone to have a voice and not have any of the secrecy anymore. This whole thing that went down with Goshen was horrible from the first go round. And like I said, the people have spoken.
So exactly what happens from here out is kind of unclear because Goshen, the Chinese affiliated company, has the land. They signed a development deal with the previous board, but now the new board will be in place who is against the project. What that means, how they'll be able to slow or stop the process, we're just going to have to wait and see. But still a big victory for the people in Michigan who have been fighting this Chinese affiliated plant. Marky?
Yeah. Brian, thank you. We'll see who those new board members end up being. But this was we read this in the tea leaves for a long time. I mean, Brian has been visiting these board meetings for, months on end, and not one has been happy. So
the city councils of these various communities are saying, you know what, enough is enough. We should have a say. And unfortunately, there are times when we don't have enough information about what these corporations are doing. They're very close to military bases quite often. So people are nervous.
Yeah, their own backyard. Thank you for watching.
Our own backyard, she ends with. How about that, huh? Residents joining locally to make a difference. Look at the celebration. Look how folks came together where they used to, maybe many used to just kind of sit back and just let things happen. And they were asked, hey, you might want to come down here and check this out and help us come together to get this stopped. I really don't care. I've got things. I'm busy. Doesn't really affect me, right? In the past, maybe. I don't know. Just throwing this out there. How many of you have come from something where you I didn't really pay attention. Things started changing 7 years ago, and I realized I needed to get involved. Maybe you put it below the video and have a chat there, or head to Locals on Rumble and have discussions there with folks. It'd be really, really cool. Speaking of that, just wanted to mention something. I'm going to be interviewing somebody here soon, and I'm going to post that video only on Locals. It's with a really good guy who discusses the earth and science. And his first name is Dave. Looking forward to that interview next week, and I'll post that on Locals. I'll let you know when. Also, some good things. As Space Shot 76, attorneys against Trump and Georgia case resign. This after they were ordered to produce 2020 ballots. Unfolded mail-in ballots. They're gone. Thank you, Space Shot 76. Good buddy. You definitely got that one out there at the time that we needed it the most. And let's see. Who else was exposed here recently? Maybe in a positive way. Oh, this one. Democrat Senator Joe Manchin announces he is not running for re-election in West Virginia. Oh, the resignations are just keep on coming. This guy didn't resign. His name's Lindsey Graham. You guys know who that is? Yeah, of course you do. And we know that he just fumbles around, and one day most days he's negative and he gets booed off stage, but then somebody must have got to him or something, because check out what he said here on Fox.
This is the same administration that is having more illegal immigrants cross our border illegally than all presidents combined. They don't know what they're doing on the border. They don't know what they're doing when it comes to bad guys. If you had Donald Trump as president, we would secure the border tomorrow. People would listen to him in Mexico and other places because they're afraid of him. If he were president of the United States, this stuff with Iran would end. The only thing that works with bad guys is to be strong. Our border is broken. Our policies don't work. It's a matter of time till a bunch of Americans get killed. I will not vote for one dime for any country, including Israel, until we first secure our own border.
Who is that? Does he have a mask on? I can't tell. It's not HD. Is this an actor? Is that really Lindsey Graham? I'm in shock. Oh, so he brings up positive things about Trump. Also, Dan Scavino showing us President Trump up big over Biden in battleground states. Yeah, Nevada, Georgia, Arizona, Michigan. He's big over all of them. You know how that plays out. He was big in 2022. He probably won all the states like he claimed. And here we are, part of the big old pause that was, part of it January 6th and how that all played out with all the actors there. And catching all those actors, again, I love watching Woo's News, and I can't just share them enough. It's in the description box below this video. And he just does a great job. And so I wanted to show a couple more clips from the actors acting out in J6 and all those criminals that were actually trying to lure all of the real MAGA folks in to, cause the arrest and scare everybody for the future. They didn't pull it off very well, thanks to all of the phones and the videos that he was able to put together over a long period. He put together an excellent video. You got to check this out, folks.
Here we have a very, very special guest who we'll come back to later. And behind us, we have some fake help coming. Hoorah! So let's follow them in. But we'll take a left, where Angel Wash has a surprise for us. Back on the Southwest Channel.
Flashbangs, I don't know, set off green gas. Pretty scary.
Notice something? No one's taking any video. That's right. If you're on the Southwest Channel, no phones. And our Bible bandits. Yep, still faithfully cemented to their spots. It's an insurrection resurrection.
Is there any copyrights on prayers? I'm not sure. But here comes some Trump. Okay. Oh, the giant Trump flag.
And here they come.
And folks, if you think he's making fun of real Christians, he's not. You got to watch the whole video so you understand how folks are planted, how they all set up different scenarios and different types of folks. And they'll say, okay, we need some folks that are MAGA Christians over here quoting Bible verses, and we need some people over here doing this. Just saying it's part of the whole setup.
With the giant Trump flag. Who's that? Oh, and there's Bono escorting the flag in. Now they crowd surf the giant flag. Ooh, fun. All the way to the cops. There's Bono. Yeah, teamwork makes the scheme work. And there it is, another mini show for the kids. Well, that was uneventful. Now, let's move back over to the Washington Monument, where Jade Sacker and John Sullivan / Jaden begin their pilgrimage to the production. Sullivan is one of our major fall guys. The sole reason why people believe Antifa infiltrated the protest. But look how late he's arriving.
They going inside. They're about to break inside that Capitol building.
Remember, John Sullivan knows what's going to happen, while his lady friend Jade, who's filming Sullivan for an apparent Netflix special, is left in the dark.
They broke inside.
Oh, no, they haven't. They're just waiting for you.
Yeah, no, I want to get in too. Oh, yeah, I'm going up. I'm going all the way to the top.
Don't spoil all of it. Now they're going to get their gear ready here on the Northwest lawn.
Jade, hold.
Can't you see she's busy working for Netflix?
Thanks for the help.
So as he goes through, he continues to show you these guys acting
Oh, we have
crazy.
a line here. And over here, watch this chick. She grabs the fire mate. Oh, and an underhand serve to the setter. Amanda Andrade Rhodes getting in the scene. They're going to set up this little scene for her. Oh, watch out. You know how those Capitol cops perish so easily.
That guy just threw a fire extinguisher.
Tyler Baggins manipulating, fabricating, everything. So watch what she's going to do. She's going to throw herself to the wolves. Remember when Edie, the water boy, did this? You throw yourself to the cops. And they get the shots. And she doesn't talk through the whole thing. Makes for good dramatic photos.
The good guys always dress like the bad guys in Star Wars movies.
Cringe! Reset. Ooh, Officer, why so serious? See this hand-shoulder action? File that under police tricks and remember this for Act 3. Reset.
Take a step back.
Whoa, Epps. Turns out to be a controller, not just an actor.
We're not trying to get people hurt.
That's what we've been saying all along.
He even caught Ray Epps. How about that, huh? It's just really good. I can't watch it enough. It's weird because I keep hitting the follow button and it won't let me hit follow from my account on Rumble. Interesting. I'll have to write him in and ask him about that. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that we have an amazing website, andweknow.com. And I wanted to show you something here real quick while we go there. I'm real excited because we've got so much to share on that end. If you go to andweknow.com, my son Brandon's been working really hard to spruce it up and with some other things. And one of the things that he was able to do is get all of our podcasts. If you go to Awk Podcast or you go to Listen on the far right, click on that bad boy. When you click on it, it takes you to all of our podcasts where you can listen in, right? It takes you to the different ones. You just click on it and listen right in there. You can follow and more. And so you can get the podcast where you can listen. You know, also we have the At Sea with LT, Navigating Truth. You can click on that. You can become a fellowship member, and then you can sign up for the And We Know newsletter. All you have to do is go in and put your name and email, submit. You'll receive notifications when videos are done and so much more. And like I said, we are looking at all types of stuff on this amazing website. Another thing that's interesting, in case you guys didn't know, we have a Facebook channel called The Patriot Light. And we have an Instagram called The Patriot. Well, you know, it's interesting because The Patriot Light was revamped by my son, Brandon. He made this bad boy look so good. He's got all the stuff that you need, resources that we talk about all the time. We've got politics, world news, markets, faith, social news, all on there. Updates constantly. Like every 5 to 10 minutes, you're getting news headlines. Some of it's mainstream media. Most of it, we try to make sure that it's news from sources that we can vet, but also you want to have the balance, right? You look at the bad stuff from the mainstream, you take your truth from your social news. That's all the ones that we look into, combine them, and then you're able to do your own research. Check that out, huh? And so we've got also shop.andweknow.com. Remember, we've got sweatshirts and hoodies, accessories, hats, tees, and tanks. And this Thankful Thursday, they actually put out, get a free this here, Romans 8:28, with any purchase, use code THANKFUL45, and I believe it's a carabiners. Anyway, we are so thankful for you and all your support this season. And so just want to make sure you know this ends November 12th. Pretty cool. So here's more great pictures of Patriots wearing our gear.
It's the last time, who cares? Oh. Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So, but you all look lovely, all dolled up. You came here in your limos. I came here in a limo tonight, and the licence plate was made by Felicity Huffman. So, no. Shush. Once upon a time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long, Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So, Even Prince Andrew's like, come on, Leo, mate, you know, you're nearly 50, son. Lots of big celebrities here tonight. I mean, legends, icons, yeah? Look at this table alone. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. Baby Yoda. Oh, that's Joe Pesci, sorry. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching the show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer. And it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way. So in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? The world got to see James Corden. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. Apple roared into the TV game with a morning show, a superb drama, yeah. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right?
And then he goes on and says, of course, to grab it and says another expletive. So, again, this played out years ago. Many of us were overwhelmed with some with joy, many within shock, because you can even look at Tom Hanks, because now we know all about him and his background. If you don't, you're new to this, do your research, you'll figure it out. But he is in shock, mouth wide open. And right after this was when we started seeing the crazy pictures of him where it looked like he was in solitary confinement. He was posting pictures of typewriters that had meaning behind it. We were doing our deep dive into that, researching it and more. And as he goes through this, you don't see big laughter and smiles as much. Folks that do smile, they look at each other and they're kind of in shock. They're in shock. And these guys here, you can see the disgust on this guy's face because he knows something's not right. Something is not right. They are exposing us, and I don't like it, says, you know, as I probably say what was going through their minds through this whole thing. Another thing that happened here would be President Trump posting a campaign video on Instagram that included footage of Barack Obama, Big Mike, Bill, and Hillary Clinton after they received their mysterious envelopes at George H.W. Bush's funeral. Do you remember that? So why would he post it with that timing? We're seeing all these trafficking incidents coming up here recently in the government. I'm going to show you another video of that in a moment. You see all of the arrests that are happening around the earth. You see the coup being exposed out of Italy on the stolen elections. And here's President Trump posting this video as a reminder what was going on in those envelopes. Does he want us to, that reminder? I remember when this first came out and I put out a video and everybody was catching on quickly that day, posting like crazy. What in the world is going on? The wives getting the envelopes, and the only one, of course, that didn't seem to get one was Jimmy Carter, because he kept thumbing through like, where's my envelope? Where's my envelope? He couldn't find one. And of course, we had Bush hand off something because he had a Secret Service agent behind him hand him something. He looks down at it real quick, hands it to Barbara. She shows it over to Jeb, and Jeb goes into shock, drops his hand. And my theory has always been, some people say, oh, it was a writing, and they pass pictures around saying that George Bush said something like they know it. I told everything, I'm sorry, whatever. I'm thinking more along the lines of, if you're going to be in shock over just a quick look at something, it must be some type of picture. And my theory is, and it's just my theory, doesn't mean it's the truth. It's a theory. Theory alert. Okay? Is that if you look down and you see something that's devastating, and it's a quick glance, it has to be a picture, in my opinion, and that picture must have been a picture of the punishment that the father received for committing treason against the United States of America when he was putting out the New World Order. Remember, it's his funeral. You get it? Do I need to be more descriptive? Hope not. So, viewers will hear new evidence from General Michael Flynn, hear new evidence showing that the U.S. government knowingly put children into the hands of unknown and unvetted sponsors and traffickers. How the federal government turned a blind eye to the waste of taxpayer dollars by their select NGO contractors, and how shame attack tactics and threats were used by both government officials and federal contractors to suppress staff from sharing information. The U.S. government knows it has a child trafficking problem, and it isn't one they want you to know about. Check this out.
Earlier today, 3 individuals were arrested and charged in federal court with operating a sophisticated, high-end brothels in Watertown and in Eastern Virginia. These establishments were allegedly promoted through 2 different websites, BostonTop10.com and BrownEyesGirlsVA.blog. The 3 individuals behind these websites facilitated the movement of predominantly Asian women across the United States for sex trafficking and commercial sex ring, exploiting them in the process. This commercial sex ring was built on secrecy and exclusivity, catering to a wealthy and well-connected clientele, and business was booming until today. It's alleged that the prospective sex buyers in this scheme first had to respond to a survey and provide information online, including their driver's license photos, their employer information, credit card information, and they often paid a monthly fee to be part of this illicit club. The affidavit that's unsealed in court today alleges that once the buyers were verified, they were then texted and allowed to place orders with commercial sex workers.
They were allowed to place orders with commercial sex workers. This is coming from the government. Now, I apologize with some of that music. I got a clip there that had some music included in it. And so if that's a little bit overbearing, we'll try to get that fixed maybe in the next video. But bottom line is, just wanted you to hear him out and realize what's happening throughout the trafficking world as it's playing out. What does President Trump say? He's going to use Title 42 to end child trafficking.
And by the way, right now you have the largest caravan that anybody has ever seen walking through Mexico and making its way into your country. It's a disgrace. We will prosecute them for their participation in human trafficking, child smuggling, and every other crime that we can find. I will also use Title 42 to end the child trafficking crisis by returning all trafficked children to their families in their home countries immediately, back to their parents.
Why is this going on? Why do we have to be told over and over again that Pizzagate was just make-believe? When it came out, when all of this was making headlines and folks were talking around the earth as the exposure of all of these criminals hurting our children, it was floating around. Everybody saw the evidence. They knew it was true. They did all they could to cover it up. We even had a news reporter who did a full report on it, and he was gone right after this report.
Well, Pizzagate, it became a major story weeks ago when an armed man decided to investigate a D.C. area pizza place for himself. This man right here, he carried a rifle into a pizza parlor and then fired it at the floor. Media is telling you the entire story is a hoax or fake news. But what does that even mean? I spent the last month investigating. So what exactly is Pizzagate? And are there any actual facts to support the story? I've got to warn you, what we're going to talk about tonight will be disturbing to some people, but this is a reality check you won't see anywhere else. Pizzagate.
And this is Ben Swan.
Actually comes from the WikiLeaks release of hacked emails from Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta. In all, WikiLeaks dumped around 50,000 email messages, and it was from those emails that the claims that John Podesta may be part of a child sex trafficking ring come from. Now, to be clear, not one single email in the Podesta emails discusses child sex trafficking or pedophilia. That is a fact. But there are dozens of what seem to be strangely worded emails dealing with pizza and handkerchiefs. Self-described online investigators say that those words in the emails about pizza and the talk of handkerchiefs is code language used by pedophiles. So how did a DC pizza parlor get pulled into the story? Well, again, read any mainstream report and they indicate that Comet Ping Pong Pizza was somehow linked to this fake story and has no relation to anyone involved. But the truth is that's not true either. What media is ignoring is that the Comet Ping Pong Pizza place is actually referenced in the Podesta emails at least a dozen or so times, and that the owner of that place, James Alfantis, is a friend of John Podesta. He was actually named, this is kind of strange, by GQ magazine as one of the top 50 most powerful people in Washington. Yes, we're talking about a pizza parlor owner. Now let's talk facts here. There is no solid evidence that Comet Ping Pong Pizza is being used to run a child sex trafficking ring. But there are some very strange connections between Comet Ping Pong Pizza and a second pizza place 2 doors over, Besta Pizza, and the accusations of pedophilia. Now, this is where things start to get strange when you research this story. Now, to begin, I need to show you a 2007 unclassified FBI document. That document, according to the FBI, contains commonly used symbols by pedophiles to express their preference in children. I want you to see these images here. These are the images. Notice this one on the end, the triangle. That image signifies something called boy love. The pizza place next door to Comet Ping Pong Pizza, Besta Pizza, well, this was their logo until only a few weeks ago. Clearly, you can see that the Besta logo actually contains the same image, I'm going to show you again, as that boy lover image. Interestingly, after Pizzagate investigators pointed this out, Besta Pizza changed their logo, and there it is now. They've removed the triangle. Also, Comet Ping Pong, owned by Alfantis, is the place where a number of performance artists perform regularly. 2 of the groups that perform there, who you can see advertised, by the way, on this Comet Ping Pong poster, include a group called Heavy Breathing and another group called Sex Stains. Well, if you check out the YouTube videos by these bands, Heavy Breathing has songs that do joke about pedophilia, and the band Sex Stains has a video that includes, and you see it right there, that same boy lover symbol. It's nearly identical to the one that the FBI does say is a pedophile code symbol for boy love. As I said, there are some strange things there. As for the owner of the pizza place, James Alfantis, well, he was one time in a relationship with David Brock, who ran Media Matters for America. Well, since Pizzagate began to blow up online, he has made his Instagram profile, Jimmy Comet, private. But an archive search of Instagram reveals a number of strange photographs and words with strange and disturbing images associated with them. Look, to the point where we can't show you those pictures. We're not even going to describe them to you because some viewers would find it too disturbing to share on TV. Now let's talk about the Podesta brothers, because remember, it was John Podesta's email that was hacked. In those leaked Podesta emails, John Podesta talks about his close relationship with Dennis Hastert, the former Speaker of the House, who was recently sentenced to 15 months in prison for abusing boys years ago. He was referred to by the judge as a serial child molester. According to the Washington Post, visitors to Tony Podesta's home in Falls Church got an eyeful when they walked into a bedroom at the Podesta residence hung with multiple color pictures by Katie Grannon, a photographer known for documentary-style pictures of naked teenagers in their parents' suburban homes.
There we go. I put that in the description box below so you guys can find it. It's very disturbing. And as all this was ramping up, you know what happened. They started censoring everything and started going after the folks that were sharing that information. President Trump posted this on his Instagram. 2024, it's a football game. You got 2024 showing, And then you got home 45 and visitor 47. We're in the third quarter, fam. Third quarter, getting ready for the final battle. That's the translation that MJ Truth put on that, and I agree. Here we go.
Sir. And you know what they mean. Will they do it again? Will they cheat again? Because they cheated like a bunch of dogs. Will they do it again? And we have the best everything. They're going to try. Look, that's all. You can't win elections when you say open borders.
He almost let the plan slip. You're going to cheat again, and he almost said it, but held himself back, and we'll get more to him in a minute. But all of this is having an effect throughout this entire earth, even in Iowa, as they had their bank closure affecting truckers. We talk about this Sunday. You guys can listen to our interview with Dr. Kirk Elliott, Project Bora Bora disaster and the Australia outage. And we went through this in detail, and I just wanted to show you a quick clip from this. I can't wait for you guys to see it this Sunday. Credit card balances increased by $48 billion in the third quarter, reaching a record level of $1.08 trillion, according to data published on Tuesday by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. This data comes as the 3-year student loan payment pause has ended and credit card interest rates have reached a 38-year high. And I know in the House, I believe it was Jim Jordan that was asking for the Fed to be audited. If it's either him or it was the new Speaker of the House, but that came up.
Yeah, I mean, so auditing the Fed is a concept that goes back all the way to Ron Paul when he was, in the House. And hard money, real money, audit the Fed, make sure that they're not playing funny money games, right? Which they are. I mean, what kind of a gig do they have? It's a pretty amazing one, LT, where you can actually charge the U.S. government interest on loans that they take from you, and you're creating those loans with money out of thin air just by going to the printing press. It's like there's nothing behind it, but yet they're making money. They're now making over $1 trillion a year, the Fed is, on interest-only payments from just the U.S. government.
We talk about this and more, and we know .com/gold. You can reach out to Dr. Kirk Elliott anytime, and he can help you out with your finances and IRA, precious metals, and more. It's so cool. And as this is all playing out, I mean, we talk about the stolen elections and more. What's really interesting, I just saw this coming across from Defender of the Republic. Let's use some common sense here. And she's talking about, let me tell you what's going on first. 4 current or former Los Angeles sheriff's officials die in apparent suicides in 2 days. NBC News, November 8th, 2023. Defender of the Public says that you use common sense here. I want you to repeat these words slowly just so you understand the gravity of the situation and understand what they want you to accept as coincidence. 4 people who all worked for the same sheriff's department in the same city died the same way within 48 hours. This is not a coincidence. And so many folks are saying that how this played out and more is definitely something that we need to look further into in the future. I mean, we're seeing all kinds of deaths here across the board. Not only that, but also in the medical side. We keep reminding you of these guys that have sudden deaths, and they don't reveal their deaths, especially when the famous ones go. Super Bowl champ Matt Ulrich, remember him? He's dead at 41. He was the Indianapolis Colts offensive lineman who was on the team's Super Bowl championship team. And every time I talk about this, I try to take you guys to the COVID BC Vax page on Telegram. When I bring you there, we just look to see what updates they might have. I mean, they've got 1,800 I haven't even looked at yet. And more, you've got these shockers. April 12th, 2021, posting they got the jab. And then they say they're in shock. A friend of mine I've known since right after high school has passed away suddenly. Okay? It's almost like it's 2 years later, each of these. So you got another one. I got my jab. They were posted on social media for the world to see. And fully jabbed. And all of a sudden, the sun is gone. You got more of these. Kids are literally dropping on the beach. Facebook. I really need all my friends and followers to please go and help my friend. Her eldest son, Aiden Walden, passed away suddenly. All these sudden passings, just over and over again. You can just go through these. Most of these folks have bragged on social media about getting the jab, sending everyone else down there to believe that it's the right thing to do. And then, of course, I'm showing you, oh, those are nasty pictures there. And as I scroll through these, more and more folks were affected in skin and more. Deep vein thrombosis, got the jab, and then more of these gone. Okay. We got a big fight ahead of us. We've got more and more of these comms coming from President Trump. We've totally proven our innocence in the fake attorney general case. We have won on every point, says President Trump, including the fact that their so-called star witness is a complete fraud who openly admitted in court that he lied. They made it all up. Fraud was incorrect based on the values that were set, knowingly inflated, reverse his wrongful, totally discredited judgment decision. All this is underlined by the grasshopper through his statement. His statement was published, and it's out with 163 spaces, leading us to 163. 1 and 2 confirmed. You will need for coming weeks. You'll need these for coming weeks. Put it this way, 6 attempts were made to silence the witness scheduled to appear tomorrow. Special operators are on guard. Special operators are ready. They're watching over the folks, the witnesses that are coming forward. Okay? All of this playing out in President Trump. What does he do? Every time he's asked about the 2024 election will be different in terms of stopping the cheating. He deflects and doesn't answer the question. So I think it's, I forgot who I got this from. Anyway, think about that. If hard evidence showing that what they did in 2020 is revealed to the masses shortly before the next election, it's going to be a lot harder for them to do it again. Okay, timing's everything.
President, we get a lot of calls, emails from people voted for you, and one of their anxieties is, well, why is it going to be different this time? Is the Trump team on it? Have they done the things necessary to ensure things the next time around? What do you say to them?
So the two biggest questions I get is, how do you take it? And the second is, will it happen again? Meaning the cheating. And the cheating is massive. We got caught with COVID. And again, you know, I was somebody that ran very, very hard. I did 7 rallies on the final day, 7. And they were all big rallies. They weren't small ones. They were big ones. Started at 9 in the morning and we finished up at 4 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. And all over the place. I went from Florida to Iowa. I went from 81 degrees to 2 degrees below zero. That's pretty tough.
It's not a trade people want to make very often.
No. And you know, honestly, that's, if you can look at, that's called pneumonia time. When you go from 81 or 82 to 2 degrees below zero at late in the evening, you're covering a lot of territory. And I did a great job, and we got votes like nobody's ever, no sitting president has ever gotten anywhere near that number of votes. And I felt I could go home and I would watch a fair election. And I went home and it looked really good. And then around 10 o'clock in the evening, all of a sudden I started finding lots of ballots and things started changing. And then at 3:02 in the morning, things happened that were really, really bad. So, you know, we did great against him. And I believe we won by a tremendous amount. And we have proof of it, and we're releasing the proof. And you'll see the proof. It'll come up a lot over the next period of a few months.
302 is a comm, we believe, for green. The green light. Green light vibe. It's one of those stop at a stop sign and wait for the green light. Vibey days, says Vincent Kennedy. A lot happening. We went through a lot today. Covered a lot, tried to get it done in an hour. Vivek seems like a Trojan horse going after all of these folks. Many are being exposed across the board through the government, trafficking children, calling for the list of the folks that visited Epstein Island. Hunter becomes the hunted. Great things are happening. Exposure of the 2020 election. Folks are working locally to get rid of their officials. The FBI is after folks. Always. J6 has been exposed over and over again. And then we have more and more comms leading us to believe that these big ones who thought they were going to make it are about to be taken down. If they haven't already, it'll be exposed for us to see. Finally, it's coming. Sense it. Ultra Pepe Lives Matter says it's easy to feel despair when we witness our election system continue to be compromised over and over again. It's more difficult to set your gaze upon God and his promise to deliver the world from Babylon's veil. I choose to do the more challenging thing, and I believe God will get us through this mess. I choose to put my hope in God and continue to fight back in my own calling the best way that I can. Sometimes you have to just give the enemy a big when he proclaims to you that there is no hope by simply choosing to believe in spite of your surroundings. This is what makes you someone the enemy can't control. When you refuse to let the burdens of life lower your spiritual armor, you become the one sleeping in the boat, trusting God when others find nothing but fear. I choose to lay my burdens down to God.
For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you once again for all that you continue to do for us, through us. Thank you for the answers to prayer as we've been asking for total exposure of the enemy. It's happening. You're protecting those that are putting this information out. We're seeing single-handedly almost one after another, one person after another being used by you to shut down all of these trafficking sites, to expose these government workers and start pulling them. And hopefully these are open indictments and we can start seeing all of them pulled from the system, this Babylon system set up that's destroying the children. We ask for continued support over all of our lives, protection over our minds, our hearts, protection from the enemy who wants to destroy us, protection over President Trump and his team, protection over all of those on the front lines that are fighting, those in uniform, those that have served, those who want to continue to serve the United States of America and what it stands to us, what it stands to so many around this earth. We ask and pray that you would continue to do a mighty work in every person's life, for those that are hurting, those that need another, just somebody to come alongside them, give them a hug and say they're loved. We lift them up to you. We ask all this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior. Amen and amen. Folks, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all of your support. It has been absolutely amazing, your prayers. Obviously, we love it when you hit the subscribe button and you hit the like button and share. It helps us get up on the algorithms, for what Rumble has set up and more. And so we hope that you have a great weekend. And again, just want to give a big shout out to the Marines. Happy birthday. This is LT saying Semper Fi with them we know. Signing out.
All right, that was LT. And we know, and nothing else has come out. So that is going to be it for me tonight. Ronnie York is going to be going live with Big Chad. Big Chad, I think pretty soon. I think it's just going to be minutes away. Ronnie's just waiting on confirmation from Big Chap. So that's another one to look for. Also look for Tinfoil TV. I believe that she's got one coming up tonight as well. Actually, let's go to the YouTube and see if we got any prior notices. A lot of people have been just going live and not putting up a pre thing. But I haven't seen one for 10, at least not today, anyways. Let's see, what's that? Walk Away celebrates 5-year anniversary in West Palm Beach tonight. That's a very good program, obviously, because they've got people talking and so on and so forth. I saw something else up here. What was it? U.S. Bank, so Next News Network. Okay, yeah. And Russell J. Gould's been dropping some stuff. I don't generally, lately I haven't been playing his things. I got some opinions, where that's concerned is if you're in that much control, then why haven't you just freed all the Americans? Why do you got to get paid to free them? Wouldn't it be more conducive to just go ahead and free all the Americans, from that system and, then profit off of them. But who am I to say? But he's got one out now that's talking about the bank closures and stuff like that. It's and such. So we'll see what happens. Actually, it looks like he did 2 today. Let's see. Let me double check. Let's see. Yeah, he did 2 today. So he did bankruptcy timelines and what does it say? Bankruptcy timelines and performances by Russell J. Gould. And then he did an interview with Andy Powell with the closure by the Postmaster General, Russell J. Russell-J. Gould. Like I said, it's my thing about this guy is he wants to be considered the savior of our flag and everything else. And why don't you just free the people? Wouldn't it be more profitable to have all the Americans prospering and everything else? I would think so. So I'm kind of avoiding that narrative. And I've been talking with Dave about bringing in a special guest in a short time here in regards to some of the things in regards to the sovereign citizen type thing. Actually, because if you're a citizen, you can't be sovereign, because citizen would mean that you're under something, right? I would think. All right, with that, I'm going to wish you all a great night. Please, everybody get some rest, get a good meal in you. And God loves you. Jesus loves you. I love you. Check out Ronnie York tonight with Big Chap. And I'm sure Ronnie's got some videos lined up to curl your toes and all that good stuff. It's Clay B. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's I don't know about him either. I mean, I know a lot about him, but it's just some things are kind of off in regards to that, especially after that kid got killed in Utah for driving without having a license or license plates or anything else. So I'm at the point now. I said this to Auntie Wells earlier today or a couple of days ago. I says it's time for these guys to start the put up or shut up, kind of thing. Put up or shut up. It's time. It's time. Americans have had it. A lot of people have been suffering with financially, spiritually, especially spiritually. So many people are having a hard time trying to find a direct connection to God. The thing is people don't understand that there's an operator in between you and God, and that's Jesus Christ, his son. And that's where you start your prayer. And then when you speak your prayer, you speak it in his name, because he said that whatever you ask in my name, will be given to you. So we got to remember that as well. So with that, I'm going to wish you all a great night. Please, stay positive. That's all we can do. Stay positive. Keep our vibration up, keep our spiritual vibration up as well as our physical, and we'll go there. So like I said, Ronnie will be with you guys soon, and keep an eye out for that, and take care. Peace.